The title of our story is Sea Turtle Summer by Virginia Kroll. Everyone in Daryl's house had a name that began with D. His dad was Dog, his mom was Donna, his sisters were Dorian and Dana. Even the pets had D names. There was Digger the hamster, Dusty the rabbit, and Daisy the long-nosed collie dog who dug holes in every corner of the yard just for the pure joy of digging. One year, Daryl's grandparents moved to a house on an island in southern Florida. No more cold winters for us, they said. 7 months later, Daryl and his whole family packed their van for a long summer visit. Good thing Grandma and Grandpa have a yard full of sand, Daryl said. Daisy can go dig to her heart's content. And Daisy dug more than ever. One morning, Daisy dug faster than usual. He noisily sniffed and snuffled through her nose and worked with her head. Finally, she came out of the hole with her pointed nose covered in wet sand. Daisy pawed the pit she had dug. Daryl stared into it. Daisy, no! He pulled her back by her collar and snapped on her leash. Sit, he said. Daisy obeyed, but she whined about it. Daryl led Daisy back to the house and shouted to his family. They followed him to Daisy's hole. Everyone peered in. Are those ping pong balls? Dana asked. They are sea turtles' eggs. Green turtles, the neighbors tell us, Grandmother answered. The turtles come up onto the beach once a year to lay them. Grandpa said, we ought to call Mrs. Zook. She runs the turtle patrol. Doreen giggled. Turtle patrol? Yes, ma'am, Grandpa said. Sea turtles are dying out. They need all the help people can give them. Grandma called Mrs. Zook, who came with wire fencing and wood posts. Look, children, she told Daryl and his sisters. She pointed to a mark in the sand. It reminded Daryl of the mark a long, narrow sled makes through the snow. It is a fresh nest. The female turtle was most likely here last night. See the track she made as she pulled herself back to the sea? Wow, Daryl said. She must be huge to leave that big track. She is, Mrs. Zook said. About 3 feet long and 400 pounds. Whew, Daryl whistled. That is like two of you, Dad. Do not give away my weight secrets, Daryl's dad said as he winked. Laying eggs is not easy for a turtle, Mrs. Zook explained. In the water, she is graceful as an angel. On land, she is heavy and moves in a way that is very uneasy. She digs a shallow body pit with all four flippers and then digs out a hole for the eggs with her back ones. When she is all done laying the eggs, she covers the hole over, letting sand scatter all about to hide the nest's location. Too bad she did not ask Daisy, Doreen said. She should have made her job twice as easy. Everyone laughed. Sadly, Grandpa added, she did not cover the eggs enough. Right, Mrs. Zook said. Dogs, raccoons, and foxes find them. That is where our patrol steps in. Here, Daryl, I could use your help. Daryl helped her cover the nest back up with sand. Then together, they made a fence around it. Mrs. Zook stood up. She brushed her hands and rubbed her back. Now, we wait and see. How long? Daryl asked. About 2 months, she said. Daryl thought quickly. Oh no, we will be leaving around then. We will let you know, Grandma and Grandpa promised. Daryl kept close watch on Daisy whenever they walked the beach. 2 nights before he and his family were set to return to New York, Mrs. Zook came knocking at their door. Daryl! Mom shook him. It is happening. Get up! Daryl looked at his clock. Mom, he said, it is 4 in the morning. Then he remembered. He sprang from his bed and dashed down to the beach. Moonlight shone on the water. The night was warm and still. Daryl stared at the sand inside the fence. It bubbled like a boiling pot of hot cereal. Suddenly, the tiny head of a baby sea turtle popped out of the sand. Then two small flippers. A shell. Two more flippers. One by one, the turtles struggled up from the sand, pushing hard. Mrs. Zook and Daryl took away the fence. The little turtles scrambled toward the sea as fast as their sleepers would carry them. How many are there? Daryl asked. I have counted 19 so far, I think. but they are too fast for me to be sure. There is usually about 100 in one nest, Grandma said. She had been reading up on sea turtles, and even though they are brown on the outside, they are called green turtles because of the green colored fat they develop inside from eating plants and algae. How do they know where to go? Daryl asked. Grandma answered, the light over the sea is different. God made them so they are pulled toward the light over the sea somehow. Daryl watched as the tiny sea turtles splashed into the sea. They would hide in the seaweed and float where the current took them, eating tiny floating animals and plants for a year or so. Later, they would be vegetarians, not eating any fish or meat. Be safe, Daryl whispered. Mrs. Zook said, Daryl, you are now 10. Just think, you will be at least 25 years old before one of those turtles is old enough to lay her eggs on this very same beach. They all started back to the house to finish their sleep. Daryl waited a minute. Then he walked backward all the way home, keeping his eye on the sea, which held such wonderful, surprising treasures. So, for the values, kindness, helpfulness, faith, happiness, respect, cleanliness, and integrity. So, for the question to think about, what did Daryl realize after he saw the baby turtles head to the sea? Write your comments down below.